What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Quick Just Takes podcast. We are back after the holiday break. It is good to be back. We took a little longer of a holiday than expected, but we're here. So let's get right into it and continue on with our attraction series. Today we're going to cover Space Mountain. And as you can see, I am no longer privileged to be broadcasting live from the Magic Kingdom, so I am now in my humble New England home. But I guess what we'll do is start with Johnny's vacation and see if anything is different from last time. He was down there with the COVID stuff, and if anything's being built or if you saw any construction going on or what the crowds were like and all that fun stuff that a lot of us want to know. And so I'll leave it over to you, John. Any highlights of this trip that you
it definitely was different.
Okay.
There was in watching things, we knew the crowds were going to be higher, so we didn't. We opted not to do Magical Express so we rented a car, which was different for us. We just didn't want to be on the buses and have to leave. That when you leave, you have to leave so many hours early. So we wanted to go at our own pace. So that started off different, but we so we got there at night, so we didn't notice any, no difference in crowds that first night. But we had figured, since we've been hearing the weekends were going to be have been busier than the weekdays. So we were prepared for that, but that was, and our situation was opposite. The Saturday, Sunday seemed easier to navigate than the Monday, Tuesday. What did we do first? We did Animal Kingdom first. Yeah. So we're prepared for Flight of Passage. I don't think Flight of Passage it wasn't even an hour wait. Most of the times at Animal Kingdom were inflated, I would say. That was kind of, that was the same from when we were there in July. They seem to still be inflating the times a little bit. So, I think even Everest said 25 minutes. It was 9 minutes. So it was, but we pretty much we were able to still do everything that day. The only thing we didn't do was Navi River Journey, and it's tough to be a bug. And we didn't do Navi River Journey because the times were, at times that wait was more than Flight of Passage. So I wasn't, I wouldn't want to wait more than 20 minutes. And the kids just didn't want to do Tough to Be a Bugs. They're not a fan of the spiders and the little ants stuff that go behind you in the stinger. So they didn't want to do that. So that was the first day. They still had all the decorations up. Was minimal. I don't think there was that many decorations besides that. We had never seen the tree there, and then the parks were pretty much the same. We didn't stay till nighttime. That day we had gone to where did we go? Oh, we went to the Wilderness Lodge for dinner at Whispering Canyon. We'd never been there before, so that was I don't know, for people who walk into that lobby. I'd never walked into that lobby before with the bigness of it, and they had a humongous tree in there. But simple, they're still doing the mobile check-ins with the reservation. So you just click hit it on your phone, and then you sit and wait. So it's pretty painless and easy. The only difference they're doing now is that they're taking your temperature at the restaurants. They weren't doing that in July for us.
Oh, really?
Yes, yeah, so they're taking your temperatures everywhere now.
Like every restaurant.
Yeah. Any sit-down restaurant at a resort, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
'cause they do it before you walk in the park anyway, like normal.
Mhm.
And then, oh yeah, we were prepared. The second day we went to Hollywood Studios, so we were prepared for like a big crowd. But as far as like that was, it was pretty. I mean, it was busier, but it wasn't bad. I mean, the only issue that day was we didn't get a boarding pass. It
Yeah,
was
I was
like
gonna ask about that.
we were on the app, before 7, you refreshing. I refreshed, hit there. I chose everybody, and it was full. It was literally 10 seconds after 7 o'clock.
That's
So it was. We both tried. I think Sarah got the error message. I was able to at least get through, and then it said it was full. And then we didn't get it at what did they do it at now? 2, whatever, the second time. We didn't get it the second time in the park either. And so we were hoping at least, well, we didn't get it, so we're hoping the ride broke down a lot. But they ended up getting through like 150 boarding groups, I think, that day.
wow.
So it was a pretty good day. So I mean,
So you didn't get on at all then?
No, and we weren't prepared for the second one. Sarah had set an alarm on her phone, but the alarm went off, and we happened to just hear people next to us counting down. So I jumped on it quick before it changed to 2 o'clock, but I still couldn't get one.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, I mean,
You've had so much luck, you've been someone that's been so lucky with that. I mean, so have I. So I guess if I had to get unlucky, but
yeah, I wasn't too bummed. I mean, I don't think it would have been more just to, because it's a good ride to go on again, but the kids could go on it. But I mean, they're, they didn't know what they missed, so they're still young enough.
they'll have their opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, we went on. They really liked Smuggler's Run because, you get to press buttons and stuff. So that we ended up doing that twice. We were able. I mean, it was again with the weights on and there where they were inflated too. But I mean, like once you wait till the end of the night, if you wait till the end of the night, everything is just because the second time we went on Smuggler's Run, it was the line usually wraps all the way around the whole Millennium Falcon. Then it goes back to that around the back, and they have those 2 big doors to go backstage. Those were even open, so you got to go back. But by the time the end of the night, it was just you walked right into past everything. So
That's good.
What else did we do? Yeah, even like Slinky Dog. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, we waited an hour, I think, and it said 70 minutes, so it still wasn't. They still a little bit. Again, we got to pretty much go on everything again there. I don't think we did. We went on Runaway Railway. We went on the first thing. In the first time we got. I mean, we didn't rope drop any. We didn't rope drop anything. We kind of meandered in, but that was the first thing we did. That wasn't that bad. I think we went on everything that day. Except no, we didn't go on Tower of Terror Rock and Roller Coaster. They didn't want to go on any of that stuff. We did see the projections on Tower of Terror, which was interesting.
I love Tower of Terror.
Yeah, I mean,
roller coasters, like whatever to me. If I don't go on that on a trip, I don't get that upset anymore. It's not. It used to be like a must do. I'm not saying it's not great, but as I get older, I'm kind of like whatever about it. I'll go on it, but I'm not like thrilled. I don't need to.
I think that day Tower of Terror, I think, was the highest weight. I think it was over 100 minutes most of the day anyway. So
that right, the classic.
Yeah. But I did end up buying another lightsaber. I bought Mace Windu's lightsaber.
I thought you did, or because your wife was texting me here and there.
I wanted to buy Count Dooku's, but they said that thing sold out as soon as they got it, and they just had gotten Mace Windu's back in. So I'm like, well, it made up for not going on Rise.
Last time I didn't know what I was going to do with it, but now I'll put it back here somewhere.
Yeah, I just bought the hilt. I didn't buy a blade. You can buy them on Shop Disney. I just didn't want to carry the stupid thing around all day. So
blade cheap anyway, aren't they? How much the blade cost?
I think it's like $50. But I'd rather have them ship it to me. I didn't want to carry it back on the plane and all that stuff. So eventually.
Can you order the lightsabers online now anyway? The whole thing?
I don't know.
Because I wanted Kylo, like last time we went, like you had made the appointment and I kind of back because I was like, I'm not going to do it. And then I was there and I was like, you know what? If I can get Kylo Ren, I'm going to do it. And then I go in the store and there's no Kylo Ren. So it's like, I go back and forth in my mind, but then I was like, I kind of want Kylo Ren's. But
yeah. I think because you're allowed when you go up to the thing, they can take 3 out and you can hold it. I think that was one of them we took out. So it was a pretty heavy duty thing.
Kylo Ren was I guess a popular one to get because obviously it's unique versus a lot of the other ones. So.
And then now they have Ben Solos there, so you can see the lightsaber before he made it. So you see, it's pretty cool to see up close how he changed it.
Can you get the dark saber yet?
No.
That'll be there soon, I bet.
And they had a Rey lightsaber, but it wasn't her lightsaber that she has at the end of the 3rd movie. It's the Luke Skywalker.
They don't have the yellow one?
It's the Luke one she has.
The green one. Oh, no, the old, the blue one,
yeah. Yeah, the old Anakin one. So, I mean, the only thing with the Hollywood studios, too, is everything, like, if you want something to eat for dinner, you got to get it before, you got to eat it early dinner. Most stuff closes, which I found weird, at, like, 4 or 5 o'clock. The only thing, I don't even know what was open, I think Docking Bay 7 and then one of the restaurants down by Tower of Terror was open. So, we ended up just going back to the hotel and eating there.
Strange times, I guess.
Yeah. Was able to get a Ronto wrap for lunch, so I was satisfied. But yeah, I think we spent a lot of time in Galaxy's Edge as expected.
Yeah, I could spend a ton of time there. When I go with Ari and Carrie, they're not that interested, so I kind of go in and out. But if I was by myself, I think I'd be hanging out in there for quite some time.
Yeah, the only thing in there too is the like if you want to get into where the lightsabers are, you can either wait in line or you can put your name in a virtual line, which I did. It was like an hour. And they just call you back. And the same thing with like that marketplace. You have to wait in line. And once you get into the marketplace, they only allow one family in each store at a time. So but that's expected with all this stuff.
See, that's some of the things that I think are going to be a benefit of, like, I use the word benefit, for lack of a better term, about post-COVID life is we'll learn that some things were just better off being done the way we did them because of COVID. And, like, those virtual lines and things like that. I know they had them before COVID, but they'll have more and more of them. And I think they're so much nicer to be able to, like, enjoy the park and not have to get in a line when you can.
So,
anyway,
what do we do the next day?
So we've gone through Animal Kingdom. We've gone through.
Okay. Next day was we went to Epcot the next day. Looking at pictures.
So how's that going these days? There's not a whole lot going on there, huh?
No. Well, first since we were at Pop, they had you had to take the Skyliner to Epcot and Hollywood Studios. There was no buses. So whatever. But we ended up getting breakfast at the Riviera at that Topolino's Terrace. It was that character breakfast, which I had never been to the Riviera. So that was, that's something to see when you go up top. You can go out on the deck there they have up there. You can see everything. You can see everything with Magic Kingdom. So that was pretty cool. Everything was good there. Food was good. The only thing that was weird there is when you go back into the Skyliner line, since it goes to Caribbean Beach first and then goes to Riviera, they kind of just fill all of the Skyliner cabins and they don't like leave a break. So you're standing there until there's something a Skyliner open. So it gets kind of, if you're at the Riviera and you're trying to get to Epcot, you're waiting a lot longer.
I know what you're saying, yeah.
Because at least at Caribbean Beach, at least in the morning, you should load every other or something to give space, but you're waiting, you're waiting a good, sometimes 10, 15 cabins before something's open. So
what Johnny's saying, I think, is that people get on the Caribbean, they're going through to Epcot, so you're trying to go through to Epcot.
Yeah, and they don't make you get off.
Yeah. So they're already loaded. So you're sitting there. You could be waiting a long time for a cab.
Yeah, we were waiting. I mean, we were only, I don't know, I want to say there was 5, 6 families in front of us. We would wait in a good 20 minutes.
Which is a problem that would never normally happen because I used the Skyliner last time I was there with you, and what they were doing was we were just getting in them, like
Yeah.
time or whatever it was.
Yeah,
So
because you
those
can,
would come through, and if there was room on one, they would just, like a lot of times I wrote as a single, they just throw me on there and away I would go. So
yeah, that was kind of, I mean, at least in the morning, they should leave some space, but especially for people at the Riviera, if you're paying more probably there than you are at Caribbean, so you're kind of losing out.
yeah, that's a good point.
Um,
They should load. They should load like every other one or something, so
yeah,
that the midsection, so that when they come through, you can.
because we were trying to get there for 10 o'clock for the opening, but we ended up getting there, I don't know, 10:30 because of waiting.
Skyline is awesome, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and that was our first time entering through the National Gateway, so that was a lot different for us.
Yeah, that's funny you say that because like when I my last trip, I was at the Caribbean beach, and for the first time, like I've used that entrance and stuff before, but that like it's like became my default entrance for that trip. And I forgot, like I almost never went out the front of Epcot, which is weird because any other trip I've always gone out the front of Epcot.
Yeah, because I mean, and especially with how they have the fountain now, the new fountain. Like we didn't, like by the time we went up to the front, it was the end of the night to go on Spaceship Earth. Like I saw the fountain, but it's like not even in my mind to like, well, I should probably go around and look at it because I didn't come in the front way. But yeah, that park, Epcot was definitely really busy. We spent most of the day in World Showcase. Besides, I mean, besides eating and drinking and stuff, I mean, we were able to get on Frozen in the morning, which you lined up all the way back in Japan.
I was gonna say, I can imagine that goes out far because of the.
It moved really quick. You never stopped. So that was, it wasn't.
Probably needs a virtual queue. They should just virtual queue that damn ride.
Yeah, because I mean, you came out and then you went back up an alley down, then you went back up into Japan, and then back out to the front, almost like what the gate, that main gate thing is. I mean, it went quick, so.
To it when you get inside, like during normal times, and you just sitting there in that little zigzag,
Yeah.
pattern.
I mean, that's a plus. I mean, you look at the lines, it's like, oh, Jesus, these are so long, but you're never at a standstill for more than a minute or two. You're always moving.
I guess that's true. You can have a beer while you wait, which is always good.
Yeah, they are discouraging. They keep announcing you're not supposed to eat and drink in lines, but I mean.
Well, no, I'm sorry. I'm talking. My mindset is.
Yeah, normal.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could. I mean, you can. There was people doing it. Nobody was really saying anything. What else did we do? Yeah, like that. The wait time. I mean, their wait times that were posted were pretty accurate. But we didn't go on like test track or any of that. The waits were just like long, like 50 minutes, an hour. We weren't gonna. We were just kind of meandering, and we didn't want to like waste most of the time staying there. So we did the wait till like an hour before closing, and then you're able to just go to Land Pavilion, hit those in there, run and get Spaceship Earth. We tried to get on Grand Fiesta Tour, but it was like at closing. So, and plus there was a line to get into Mexico was so long that they weren't even letting you stand in line because they said the standby line was closed. So you had to kind of like, if you wanted to wait in the line to get in, you had to keep checking. So we ended up, we didn't go in there till the end of the night.
That's funny to think. Like, I guess probably because the tequila bar in there is what caused that line.
Yeah, because the line only went back to like where that little Donald meet and greet pictures is, and they had stopped. They stopped you from getting in line. But whatever. I mean, we weren't gonna. I mean, I would like to go to the tequila bar, but we had we're with kids and can go crazy.
Yep.
But we ate a few booths. We went in like the festival center again, which had a nice little like Frozen picture section. I don't think there wasn't anything. Oh, we did see the new things out for Harmonious and the
Yep.
in the lake there. They are huge. They're kind of weird when you look and see these big, like, I don't even know if they look, half circle oval like black things is sitting out there. So it was weird to see that.
How about was the fountain open already when you were there? Or that just happened the other day.
It was. I mean, we
it.
saw it when we walked up to Spaceship Earth and got in line. You could see it, but like we were just trying to get on. I should have went over and at least taken a picture of something, but we were just kind of trying to get on rides quick at the end of the night.
It is cool.
And then there was, yeah, it looked nice. And then there was the Living with the Land was not different with the Christmas lights and stuff inside there. So it was
a little holiday overlay.
a little yeah, they definitely had a lot of lights and once you got into the greenhouse. So it was a little, a little extra thing.
Living with Wonderland or something like that, I should call it. Give it a little
yeah, a little.
Anyway.
So yeah, that was, yeah, and then we're at Epcot at Mexico at closing. So then we just took that long walk, basically by ourselves through the rest of World Showcase to get to the National Gateway. And once you hit there, Skyliner's quick to get back.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wanted to say it earlier, but that the first time I really realized how effective the Skyliner was the night I was with you and Sarah. Like everybody else was gone back, and it was just you and Sarah and me. And we got into the we watched the Epcot Forever thing, and it ended. And I was like, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Whatever. You went your way, and I went my way. And then I texted you when I get to my room just to see kind of where you were at. And I couldn't believe how fast I got back.
I don't even think we were on the bus yet when you did that.
You weren't, Sarah, so you weren't. That was nuts.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, going to Disney a lot, like that's nuts when you think about it. Like, get back to your room that quick from the middle of any park. So there's definitely those things are definitely effective.
And I mean, we had to wait in line to get on it because of the whole one family per thing, but still at that pace, it moved fast. I mean, you weren't. So once everything starts going, I mean, they shoot you right up there quick.
Oh yeah, once it gets back to normal, you see it, you'll see what I mean. It's like Caribbean Beach is the way to go, or Pop Century is the way to go now because you get on, you get the access to that thing, knocks out 2 parks for you right there. Like during normal times when you have park hoppers and things aren't all the way they are, and you're just bouncing around doing what you're doing. Can't beat it. It saves you so much time.
And the only other thing was seeing when we came in, it was cool to finally see the Ratatouille sign, and you see the Gusteau's sign. So it's the only thing that, I mean, it's only ruined from the Skyliner perspective is the Eiffel Tower, because you really see. I'm sure once you're down inside, it'll look fine, but your perspective's ruined there. But
below the perspective. Yeah.
Was supposed to be back. Nothing was supposed to be back there anyway. So, but no, it was. Yeah, like I said, it was busy, but you kept, you stay off to the side and all that stuff. You're good.
People are just like the hell with it. And they want to go on vacation. They go.
Yeah.
Busy. What are you gonna do? And they're also letting more people in now, right? I believe they're in phase 2.
Whatever. Yeah, I don't even know I know what they said. It was 35%. It might even be more than that now. I don't know.
You were phase 1, obviously, when you went the first time, but I'm trying to look that up. I'm not sure about that. Anyway,
pretty much every night. At night, it's more like that old times because everybody seems to get out of there. Even waiting for the buses at the other parks, it wasn't crazy people standing there. But then the last day was Magic Kingdom, which I think was the busiest park.
I figured that.
The lines were, I think Space Mountain was an hour 10 all day, and then it broke down for a while. So that was like, we stayed away from there. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train was crazy. The line almost made a loop around the whole thing. Even Small World was like 40, 50 minutes.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was. I think the longest line we waited was Pirates, which was like 40 minutes. That was the longest we'd wait. I mean, Haunted Mansion was pretty quick right away. It was like 20 minutes the first thing, and then the end of the night we went on again. It was a walk on. So we didn't go on a ton of stuff that day. We just and how timely it was. We walked in the park. We actually ended up renewing our annual passes, so we were over by on the left renewing them. And when we came out, we were at the fire station. I saw the sorcerer's thing, so we went in there and the kids got the sorcerer's cards, so they kind of went into that most of the day. They were always asking to go do that, so that kind of killed time in between things. And then now, of course, they're super into it. Now they're just announced they're getting rid of it.
Yeah, but we were doing it one day.
It broke up the time, so it's like we're not standing in line, and then they want to do that. You bounce back and forth. So, but I mean, other than that, I mean, we ate a Liberty Tree Tavern for lunch. We ended up. They're using. What are they using? They're using what is it? The restaurant on the side of them. What is it? The Golden Horseshoe. We ended up sitting on that side, so they're able to fill it up more. I want to say that was pretty uneventful that day. Besides, maybe the Jingle Cruise, which was fine.
Yeah.
The castle projections. That was definitely different than seeing the normal lights on. It was pretty cool to see that. And you definitely, they shoot off fireworks every time they change the projection, so people aren't prepared for that. So that's kind of a little, people get scared a little bit, especially like 8-year-old boys.
There's no shows because they don't want anybody congregating. So what you're saying is they just project onto the castle and
I think it's and every 10-15 minutes they shoot fireworks off and then it switches.
Yep.
But I mean, so people, they stop, they take their pictures, and there was no big crowds or anything, which worked out.
Oh, get that.
And they're still doing all the cavalcades. That, even though they're doing the one little section at a time, that does people stop, and that's where it builds up a lot.
I figured that would happen. I saw those on YouTube.
Yeah, and then they at certain points, where we were walking, they shoot everybody to the other side of the road, so you're even congregating a little more. Is there anything different there? The other thing, I mean, they're doing the work on the Rivers of America, so that was definitely weird to see that empty.
Oh, it's drained, yeah.
Yeah, so we couldn't go over to Tom Sawyer Island, which was whatever. And the only other thing was Tron. They're starting to put that. They're not putting the glass. I don't know if it's glass, but they're putting the
almost like that dome fixture, whatever.
That dome, the outline of the dome going over everything. So that was big progress since the last time we were there.
Yeah, I can't wait.
It is weird. I mean, you can still get one perspective where you walk into Tomorrowland, you can just see Space Mountain, but then that other perspective of seeing Space Mountain and then Tron, it's I don't know. It's just different.
And that's getting pushed back to 2022 now, so
yeah,
a while longer.
But I mean, they did when we were there in July. I don't even think they had finished the track yet. So I mean, they did make pretty good progress.
Yeah.
But whatever. And then the last day, we did a quick. After packing everything up, we did a quick what did we go to? We took a bus back to Magic Kingdom, and then we just did the monorail loop. So we just went and saw all the decorations at the 3 hotels, and then we went to we didn't walk on the new walkway. We saw the new walkway, and then we just went to Disney Springs for the afternoon before we had to leave, which was because it was middle of the day. It wasn't that busy. The only thing, you had to wait in a line to get into World of Disney, but that was it was 40 minutes. It was 15 minutes. And other than that, they had the Christmas tree trail was spread out throughout, so these different themed Christmas trees throughout Disney Springs. But I mean, other than that, that was it.
How was the flights? Were they busy or?
None of the flights were full. They could have been full because Southwest got rid of that like open seat.
Wait a minute.
They Southwest will fill every seat if they can sell it out.
Yeah, forget that.
Yeah, but nothing was sold out, so we still we were always able to sit, like one of us would sit with the two kids and the separate person. There was always, we sat with somebody, but there was always space. Our only issue was we did have no, they moved our flights. On Christmas Day, they moved them. We flew out of Providence earlier, and we were stuck in Baltimore for like almost 3 hours. And then on the way home, they just moved our flight up 2 hours. We still had a direct flight, but everything was fine. We came back, got tested, and everything was, everybody was negative, so we were all good. We could just follow the protocols. We were all good. But it's still good to go down there. I don't know.
Yeah, the whole thing is just funny because they had they're getting a ton of cases right now in the country and stuff. But I was telling Gary today, I was like, most life as we know it is it doesn't feel as abnormal as it did at one time. I can run out to the grocery store, there's restaurants, nothing's really shut down.
Yeah,
it was. So I don't know.
Whatever.
Kind of a weird thing. I'm not down here, but
no. And I mean, it was definitely nicer being down now the masks were even a non-issue more. I mean, you do sweat in the summer, but this was a non-issue at all.
Yeah.
It was way easier. I mean, the first day the first 2 mornings we were down there was 38 degrees both mornings. I actually wore pants and a sweatshirt the first day because it was only in the 50s, but then it did warm up, which was.
Plus, I mean, the masks, I feel like a part of you now. I don't even think about it anymore.
No.
I went to the golf simulator on Saturday and hit golf balls for 2 hours straight with a mask on and didn't think about it. So
no.
Whatever. But anyway, it's good to hear that everything's fun down there still and all that stuff. So, anyone who wants to go, obviously.
When I did on our Magic Kingdom day, I got to run. I ran into Tim Tracker, which was nice. If you watch YouTube, we saw him and the wife and everything. Stopped and talked to him. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you see a YouTube person, the kid. I mean, we watched some of the videos with the kids, so the kids were all like, "Oh my God, we saw Tim Tracker." They were it was a big TV celebrity to them, so it was cool.
So now both of us have got to meet Tim Tracker, so that's neat.
Yeah. Yep.
Last January.
I got to meet his wife and his kid too. So.
Oh yeah, Jen wasn't there when I went.
Yeah, they were both there. So yeah.
Born yet when I went? Was she? I don't know if he was. I don't know if he was or not.
But that guy, I don't know. That guy's super approachable. You just walk up to him and you start talking to him like he knows you. So it was, and they were both really nice. So
yeah, they got I like their channel. A lot of people like their channel. So people get excited when they see them. I mean, when you go on their little Facebook thing, there's always a ton of people meeting them in parks and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't take a picture or anything. That was, weird with the masks on and everything, taking pictures. I made a picture. And Sarah was waiting in line, so I'm not a big selfie person, so I don't want to.
Yeah. I had him do it when I was there, but we weren't wearing masks that time, so
yeah,
a little easier to just say, "Hey, me and Ari, I got a picture with them."
Yeah.
But
yeah,
anyway.
she was waiting in line for Pirates, and the kids. We ran over and did a sorcerer's thing real quick, so it worked out.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyway, all right, so I guess we'll just change directions here now that we're in the. We'll segue from the Magic Kingdom to the attraction we're covering today, which is Space Mountain. And we're going to try to do things a little bit different just because after watching and listening to the other podcasts, they were fine and everything, but I just trying to think about how you could really spruce the details of covering the rides up a little bit. So we're going to try something a little different today, go over some facts about the ride and stuff, just kind of talk about it. But before we do that, we'll we'll give the usual opinion on it. And as always, I will let you start, feelings on Space Mountain and such.
Space Mountain. I would say as a younger person going to Disney, it was more of a must-do. Nowadays it's still fun, but like this, this last time the line was just, I don't really want to wait almost 2 hours for Space Mountain. It's everything with that. It's everything from just that, that building is just like the thing in Tomorrowland. It's just that iconic structure. If there was no Everest, I think it'd be the best roller coaster in Disney.
Yeah.
I never got to experience it with the lights on, so I don't think I'd want to. I think that would ruin it. And that's one of like the roller coasters I don't think I'd want to. I don't want to sit in the front car on that, because that, I think the front car, I've sat in it once and it definitely ruins that, like the dark, because you can see where the track goes if you're in that front car. I like sitting more towards the back. At least you get that, you don't know where you're gonna go type thing. But yeah, I would say if it's not like an outrageous wait, it's a must. I guess not must, but you just do it. Maybe in my older age, I don't want to shake around that much anymore too. So
yeah, I'm gonna, I guess, kind of disagree a little bit on it. I don't know about disagree, but I'm just a little more enthusiastic about Space Mountain. I like that ride a lot. I think for me, I don't know, it's always a must do. I always finagle. When I say must do, like I don't wait for it. I always figure out a way to get a fast pass, and as long as you're on top of things during normal times, of course, you can generally do that. But I think it really embodies like Disney theming, like how, like the apex of their theming, when it was built, which was obviously in the early '70s. And I don't know, it's classic. It's cool to think about how it doesn't really go that fast, but yet you get pretty good thrill out of it. The queue is cool. I like to walk through it, and I'm a big fan of standing in it, of course. And I don't know, it's just I guess it really, what I'm trying to say, I guess, is like it's really one of those time. It really, really is one of those time capsule rides. Like you really feel like you step back in Disney time, like when you go on that, in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I just love it, and obviously to each their own. And I am on board with like a lot of things not being too cool anymore in my older age as far as thrill rides go. But I think Space Mountain will be one I'll be able to handle for the rest, until my older days, hopefully. But yeah, I love it a lot, and it'll be cool to see what it's going to be like. Having, like you mentioned, kind of the skyline that it provides for Tomorrowland, and what it will look like, on the side of Tron, that whole skyline or landscape, whatever you want to call it, over there. It's also cool. It also is a cool feature that you're able to go through the ride on the People Mover as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's neat. Yeah, definitely a 10 out of 10. Definitely a neat ticket for me, but yeah, I love that ride a lot. From the queue, pretty much from the queue right to the, right to the ride. And when I say queue, I say that loosely because I don't want to hang out in the queue. You know what I mean? I don't want to wait 60 minutes for it, but
yeah,
I get the fast pass. I want to ride it. And so, yeah, definitely a big one for me. Yeah, so I'll look at a couple of these, and I went through these and shout out to mentalfloss.com for kind of providing a few of these facts that we're going to use But I was reading up on these, and they're kind of neat, like how Disney wasn't sure that fast rides even had a place in a family-friendly park, and that his mind was that not until after the Matterhorn bobsleds proved to be a huge success in Disneyland, they actually went ahead and built this ride, which is kind of funny to talk about now because of how much like thrill is kind of a thing. Like and of course Universal coming in and doing what they did. So now going back to like even when I was a kid, and even when you were a kid, versus now, how much more thrill is like. When I say thrill, I'm talking family thrill for the most part, but people know what I mean. With Expedition Everest or Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, or Rock and Roller Coaster, Tower of Terror, so on and so forth. Slinky Dog. That the precedent was set with obviously way long ago with Matterhorn, but with Space Mountain, and that ride is basically, if I'm not mistaken, in every single Disney park now, except for the different variation in France, I believe. So it's kind of a staple.
Is it in all three in over in 8?
No, I know. See, that's why I said I was kind of reluctant. I
don't know if it's in.
No, it's not in Shanghai because they have Tron, right?
I think so. Yeah, but it's in.
There you go.
It's in Hong Kong and
but even
Tokyo, I believe.
Even is Tron. I mean, obviously Tron's themed on the movie, right? But is Tron arguably a spiritual successor to Space Mountain in a way? Like they're like, we're gonna have a dark roller coaster in our Tomorrowland, one way or the other, and so it's kind of like that.
I guess.
I mean, I don't know. But I guess it just speaks to the idea that the thrill element that Space Mountain has provided is now kind of something they want to be a mainstay in that area of the park. But so that was kind of interesting. We'll just go through a few of these. After the ride was conceptualized, Disney had to wait 11 years for the technology to catch up, which I thought was kind of cool. The same Disney legend John Hench designed the attraction in the early 60s, more than a decade before technology needed to make it actually came to life and was readily available. When the technology was available, because the technology that was available was too slow. In fact, it would take hours just to model the data for just one curve. When the machinery finally caught up, work on the roller coaster resumed, and Space Mountain debuted the Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World in 1975. So also a fun fact for both family trips is that I guess this is easy to do when you go there every year, but when we were with you, I don't know if you remember this, we weren't with you at the time, but you were there, actual moment, but actually you might have left before this, but whatever. It was the 45th anniversary this past January of Space Mountain, and then I was there for the 40th anniversary as well. But the attraction is big enough where they actually, I don't know if they do this on every attraction, but I've never seen it. Maybe I just never been lucky enough to have been to any other attraction on a big anniversary, but they actually give you a pin. That not a pin, but like a celebrating 40 years Space Mountain.
Oh yeah, like one of the button things. Yeah.
Yeah, buttons. I'm sorry, button would have been a better word. Yeah, so it's kind of cool there, and I was just talking about things like third fact was just early names of the ride was Spaceport and Space Voyage, which are pretty straightforward things. I think it's interesting though, like because of Disneyland being so small versus Disney World, that the Flores Mountain is more than 180 feet high and 300 feet in diameter. Because Disneyland is built on such a smaller scale, the Magic Kingdom Disneyland Space Mountain would have towered over Main Street and ruined the illusion of scale. So it had to be an exact replica. A precise copy also wouldn't have fit. So Magic Kingdom is a bigger space as a result, and the California Space Mountain is significantly smaller, at 118 feet tall and 200 feet in diameter. So that's funny, like that you got two variations of probably the most different variations of the same ride. I know a lot of rides you go on from park to park, but the same rides are different in little ways, subtly, but this is obviously not subtle when you go from 180 feet to 118 feet and 300, feet in diameter is 200. But I guess a fun fact there is that Disneyland, is kind of the opposite with Pirates of the Caribbean. Where, it's much bigger. So,
Yep.
And I think if you could pick one or the other, like if you had to have the bigger version of either Space or Pirates, like what would you go with?
I
mean, obviously you have the bigger one of Space Mountain, but would you switch? Would you switch if you could?
No, I think I'd keep it the way it is.
Yeah, you'd rather have the smaller version of Pirates?
I think so. Yeah, because I've only ridden Pirates in Disneyland once, but I don't know. It's just maybe I still feel like I like Disney World's Pirates better than maybe just because I've rode it more times.
Yeah.
But I mean, even I don't know. A Space Mountain, I think Space Mountain's short enough as it is, so I wouldn't really want it shortened anymore. I don't know.
I guess what I'm asking you is if you could make a trade-off, so you could say, hey, here at Disneyland, have the bigger Space Mountain, give me the bigger Caribbean. You know what I mean? Because I believe Pirates of the Caribbean Disneyland's I have to look this up, but it's almost like a full 2 minutes longer or something like that, I believe.
Yeah, I know you get a couple more. I think you do. It's either 2 or 3 drops in there, and then
you get 2 decent drops. There's one, and then like a really tiny one, I think.
Yeah, you get an extra scene or 2 too. But
you definitely do that. When I say decent drops, I mean Pirates 12 feet or something, like 30. Nothing crazy, but yeah.
I don't know. I'm biased. I think the Pirates is probably my favorite ride.
That's why I was asking. I kind of asked that.
It's just, I don't know. Just when you go down that drop and you come around that turn and see the pirate ship, that's just my favorite thing. So, I don't know.
That sequence doesn't exist in Disneyland, right? You see the ship first and then drop? I don't remember now.
I don't even know. It's because it's been, it's been.
I've watched it a bunch of times, and I've been on it a long time ago, but I can't remember anything.
It's been over 10 years since I've done
it. Whatever. So also, one of the funny things, and I'm just skimming through these facts, obviously, is, and this is one I think a lot of us already knew, is that it's actually one of the slowest rides in Disney World, which is kind of funny. Though, the darkness and the projection of the galaxy and several sudden drops make the roller coaster seem like careening wildly through space, and the rockets actually only reach a top speed of 28 miles per hour. By comparison, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad can get up to 30 miles an hour, and Splash Mountain's descent can reach up to 40. The only thrill ride that goes slower is 25 miles an hour, and that's the Barnstormer, which of course is a child roller coaster.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of interesting that and I mentioned this in my Seven Dwarfs e-ticket video, is that it was cool how they were able to make something like that really raise the experience. So it kind of falls perfectly into a family coaster where you're really not cranking that much, but it feels like you are. And then something like Seven Dwarfs, which I've said many times, I'm not a huge fan. I don't hate, but I'm not a huge fan of. Is going even faster, and it just doesn't feel like this doesn't give you anywhere near the experience, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, well, when you do see Space Mountain with the lights on, like a picture of it, you just see how compact it is. So it's those twists, it just makes it more.
It's literally like a boardwalk roller coaster attraction when the lights are on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or a cheap boardwalk, and they have one of those roller coasters you can ride for $2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those are cookie cutter roller coasters or the carnivals, even some higher end carnivals put together. It's nothing crazy. It's just.
Yeah, like even the look of it, I don't even know if you know that like roller coaster at Canopy Lake that's only like the small car, there's only like
Yes,
four
yes,
cars. It's
yeah.
kind of like that's like it's tall, but it's the same type of thing like that, but it's small, it's twisty.
So it's not a mouse coaster, but it's like in a sense an idea of that, like where you just kind of, like the Matterhorn, you slowly, just gradually going down
Mhm.
levels, and there's like a little dip here and there. Um,
Yeah.
I'm not taking anything away from it, but it's amazing. It's amazing what that you can make that feel like. Like that feels like a way more intense experience and way more in-depth, like detailed experience than it really is with the theming they put around it, building they put around it, and just the whole feel. Which is,
Yeah, and the whole I do the one thing I didn't say before, but the one thing I do like when you're going up that first lift hill, and the other that other side is either in front of you or behind you, and it's always that's one of the most the cooler parts is while you're on the thing and you don't really know when that other train's gonna come by you the other way, and it's kind of I like the aspect of that with two
yeah.
of them at the same time.
Quickly here, fun fact: the Alpha track is 10 feet longer than the Omegas. So if you want to get a little more bang for your buck, try to get on that. A very, very, very small bang for your buck. Now is that extra 10 feet of track just at the end, or like where is that located? I don't know. Couple of quick ones for the nerds. Next time you walk through the queue of Disneyland attraction, look around for Space Station 77 symbol that pays homage to the year Space Mountain was first to flight. The Magic Kingdom Space Travel is a welcome to Starport 75, which is a nod to the ride's debut in Florida. When exiting the ride, there's a blue panel at the end of the moving sidewalk, which no longer moves, as we know, that mentions closed sectors. The acronyms listed usually stand for closed attractions and the lands they are once located in. So in Florida, you have MTWR, which is, I'm sorry, in Disney World, you have FL-MTWR, which is Fantasyland, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, TLSK2FL, Tomorrowland Skyway Fantasyland, MSU-SB, which is Main Street USA Swan Boats, FL-MMR, which is Fantasyland Mickey Mouse Review, and TL-M2N, which is Tomorrowland's Mission to Mars. And as a Disney geek, I gotta tell you, I love stupid things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's so easy to do, but I just like that they do. Yeah.
Oh, just the fact, even like every time I walk out of Haunted Mansion, I just love looking up and seeing Mr. Toad in the graveyard. Just that little nod is just seen it many times, but it's just something to see every time.
I wish they didn't close to Toad. They should have just. If they just would have. I don't know. Mr. Toad's cool. Glad Disneyland still has it. Yeah. Anyway, and here's actually the answer to the discussion we were having just a bit earlier, where even though it's more than 40 years old, Space Mountain has continued to be so popular over the years. There's a version of it at 5 of Disney's resorts, the Hong Kong, the Tokyo version of Space Mountain. They're almost identical to Disneyland. Space Mountain Tokyo received a bit of a facelift in 2007. Disneyland Paris originally had Space Mountain, which was their Space Mountain was Mission 2, which was inspired by Jules Verne. That included inversions. It was renovated in 2005 and re-emerged as Space Mountain Mission 2. Shanghai Disneyland is expected to break tradition, or it did break tradition when it opened up with the Tron Light Cycle coasters instead. And that's kind of the last fact there. But yeah, so it's definitely etched it's etched itself in Disney history. And it's funny to see a lot of the classics are more from the 50s and 60s, but you do have a couple, that were built post those days, post Walt's life, that he wasn't involved in, which were like Space Mountain and I guess Splash Mountain. Kind of go down now as a classic, and Thunder Mountain as well. But I think I'm gonna jump the gun on Sarah and say that Thunder Mountain will be your next attraction we talk about next week as well. So that'll be interesting. But the mountains are always, Disney and kind of how they have the mountain history now. It's kind of neat. They talk about Everest being a mountain. Well, obviously it is a mountain,
Yes. Yeah.
but does it fall in the mountain category if it's not in Magic Kingdom? I don't know. You know, Space Mountain, Thunder Mountain, Splash Mountain. Those are all in the Magic Kingdom. You know, how does that work? You know. I don't know.
Well, now that Park Hopping's back, now you can jump over there and still ride all 4 in a day.
That's true. Did you? Oh, so yeah. So you were able to park hop if you wanted to.
No, it happened on the 1st. We left on the 30th.
Oh yeah. See, that's what happens when you skip a weekend. Beginning. Yep. So, yeah, park hop it's nice to have that back, I'm sure.
Mm.
But anyway, I think we've jabbered enough this week. Shout out to my aunt and my uncle in Poland, Sherry and August, for that sign that you see me pointing to. They had sent me a Disney gift card, and I used that said gift card to purchase that sign. Pretty excited about that. So thank you guys. I know my aunt listens every week. And I just wanted to also give a quick nod out to, we hit 1,000 downloads on Podbean, which is just one platform for podcasts. I'm not really sure if it's even one of the more popular ones or not, but I know that we use them to host our podcast, and they're able to send our podcast out to multiple platforms once I upload it onto their site. But anyway, so I thought that was kind of a big deal because we're still a smaller podcast trying to grow, and you know, it's a milestone. So, and if it's 1,000 downloads on that site, I'd like to think that probably a lot more on iTunes and things like that, because those are more common sites for like Spotify and iTunes and such to get, you know, to get your podcast. So hopefully that's a good sign, and we'll see going forward. But it was kind of exciting. I saw the email today. I don't know. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But anyway, same thing as usual. Our Twitter handle's on the bottom. Shoot us a message. Leave a comment in the comments below. If you're watching on YouTube, or comments in any platform you're listening to, are always appreciated. And we'll be back next week with a little Big Thunder Mountain talk, and possibly a little bit more. And we'll see you next week. Have a good week, and take care.